Hello, dear friend. If you are here right now, watching this video, it is not by accident. Something has drawn you here. Perhaps you have felt it yourself. That subtle shift in the way people look at you. The fleeting moments when a stranger pauses just a little longer, or when a familiar face seems to hesitate before speaking. You might have wondered quietly, why do they react this way? Today, I want to invite you into a truth that is both profound and life-changing. It is a truth that touches the very essence of who you are. A truth about transformation, about how what is unseen within you slowly begins to shape what the world sees. What if I told you that the subtle changes in your presence, the calmness in your gaze, the depth in your expression are not random? That every quiet moment you spent with God, every tear, every act of forgiveness, every surrender of your fear has been recorded not just in heaven, but in your very being, shaping you in ways even you do not yet recognize. In the next few minutes, I want to guide you through an understanding of this transformation. We will explore how your inner growth, your spiritual journey, leaves marks not just in your heart, but on your face, your posture, your voice, and even in the way strangers and friends respond to your presence. By the end of this video, you will see your own story in a new light. You will understand why some people freeze when they look at you. You will begin to perceive the invisible work God has been doing in you, the quiet upgrades to your presence that signal honesty, clarity, and peace. This is not about vanity. This is not about appearing perfect. This is about authenticity, about alignment, and about the quiet authority of a life shaped from the inside out. So, stay with me. Open your heart and your mind. What you are about to hear may change the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. Part 1. The Hidden Transformation. How God works from the inside out. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glow from within, even when their circumstances are challenging? Why their presence commands attention without a word? Why strangers instinctively feel both drawn to them and unsettled by them? The truth is, transformation begins in the hidden places, in the quiet moments no one sees. It begins in the nights when you sit alone, wrestling with your fears, speaking honestly to God, and surrendering the truths that weigh on your heart. It begins in the tears you shed when you forgive someone who hurt you deeply, in the moments you resist anger, or when you release control and choose patience over reaction. These invisible acts shape you in profound ways. They affect your nervous system, your muscles, your posture, and even the subtle expressions your face carries. In psychology, researchers have discovered that humans can read micro-expressions, tiny movements around the eyes, mouth, and forehead, in less than 1/10 of a second. These signals communicate emotion before words are even spoken. Imagine, then, the effect of years of spiritual work on these micro-expressions. Every time you chose peace over chaos, every time you forgave rather than retaliated, every time you faced fear instead of hiding from it, your body recorded it. Your resting face, once etched with tension, anxiety, or defensiveness, slowly began to change. It began to tell a new story, one of depth, calmness, and clarity. You did not notice it at first, because transformation happens gradually, almost imperceptibly. But those around you did. You might recall a moment when a friend looked at you and said, "You look different." I can't explain it, but something about you feels softer. Perhaps a stranger locked eyes with you and froze, unsure of how to respond. These moments are evidence that the invisible work within is now visible. Your face has become a mirror of your soul. This is not vanity. It is not about seeking approval from others. It is a reflection of alignment. When your inner truth begins to echo outward, and your presence communicates integrity, authority, and authenticity without a single word. Historically, this idea is not new. In the Bible, Moses' face shone after encountering God on Mount Sinai. People could see the divine encounter reflected in his very countenance. Similarly, in the lives of the saints and spiritual leaders throughout history, inner sanctity and deep communion with God often manifested in presence, posture, and expression. Transformation always begins inwardly, but it is never fully contained there. In this part of your journey, it is important to recognize that your own visible changes are the result of patience, perseverance, and surrender. Heaven has been quietly shaping you, and the outer world is only now catching up. As we continue, we will explore how these subtle transformations influence the people around you, why some are drawn near and why others suddenly feel confronted. Understanding this will help you navigate relationships, influence, and presence in ways that honor your growth. Part 2. The language of the face. How spiritual growth becomes visible. Every face tells a story, whether we are aware of it or not. Long before a word is spoken, the tiny muscles around our eyes and mouth communicate volumes. In psychology, this is called micro-expression reading, the subconscious way humans assess trust, emotional state, and even moral character. But what happens when years of spiritual work subtly transform these expressions? You begin to notice it first in the small moments. A friend looks at you and hesitates, unsure what to say. A stranger lingers in conversation, revealing more than they usually would. Even a child may gaze at you as if they recognize something familiar, something safe. This is not coincidence. These reactions are the reflection of a deeper truth. Your inner alignment is now visible even to those who cannot articulate it. Consider the eyes. They are the windows, not just to the soul, but to the journey within. When God begins to heal fear, anger, and anxiety in your heart, it subtly lifts the tension around the eyes. People unconsciously notice this. Your gaze no longer carries panic or defensiveness. It communicates depth, stillness, and presence. A look that once may have betrayed stress or doubt now signals clarity and calm. The corners of your mouth tell a similar story. Subtle tension, often etched over years of fear, disappointment, or self-protection, softens as your heart is transformed. Even when you speak seriously, there is a new openness. You may not smile constantly, yet your face no longer signals constant vigilance. It signals a readiness to engage authentically. Historically, this mirrors what scholars have observed in spiritual leaders and mystics. Saints and devoted practitioners often radiated calm authority. Their presence alone could inspire confidence, invite confession, or command attention, not because of fame, wealth, or even eloquence, but because their inner work had begun to manifest outwardly. Their faces, their posture, their gestures became instruments of spiritual communication. It is also important to understand the dual nature of this visible transformation. Some people are drawn to it. They feel safe in your presence, trusting that you will not exploit their vulnerabilities. Others, however, may feel unsettled, not because you are judging them, but because your expression no longer confirms old patterns. The subtle lies, fears, or pretenses they are used to encountering. The same gaze that comforts the honest can challenge the dishonest. This dynamic is evident in Scripture as well. Consider Jesus' interactions with the Pharisees. His calm yet piercing presence often unsettled those whose hearts were hardened, while offering solace and guidance to the receptive. Your own face can function similarly, reflecting a life attuned to truth, integrity, and peace. The key point here is subtlety. Spiritual transformation does not demand theatricality. It works quietly, reshaping micro-expressions, posture, and voice. It turns ordinary presence into a signal, a spiritual signpost that others perceive instinctively. You do not have to announce your growth. The world reads it anyway. in fleeting glances, pauses, and reactions that linger longer than you may realize. In this way, your face becomes more than skin and bone. It becomes a narrative, a silent testimony, a reflection of the unseen work happening in your heart. The challenge, then, is to remain humble and patient, recognizing the power of your presence without allowing it to become a source of pride or vanity. Part 3. The responses of others. Why people freeze, avoid, or gravitate towards you. As your inner transformation begins to show outwardly, you start to notice reactions in others that feel unusual. Some people freeze when they look at you, others avoid your gaze or seem hesitant in conversation. And yet, new people, often strangers, feel inexplicably drawn to you, sharing thoughts and feelings they would usually keep hidden. Why does this happen? The answer lies in the subtle language of presence. Your face, your posture, your voice, all are sending signals about the truth you now carry. And whether consciously or unconsciously, people respond. Those who are honest, sincere, and hungry for truth instinctively feel safe around you. They sense that you will not exploit their vulnerabilities, that your integrity is genuine, and that your calm presence offers a place of refuge. This draws them in. They may open up more quickly, trust more freely, or confide what they would normally conceal. Your presence becomes a quiet invitation, a place where they do not have to perform, where they can simply be. At the same time, those who are used to deception, control, or manipulation may feel challenged, not because you are judging them, but because your transformation exposes contrasts they are not ready to face. The same clarity in your expression that comforts the honest may unsettle the dishonest. In that moment, their spirit recognizes a truth they have not yet chosen. This is why some people freeze when they look at you. They are reading what you now communicate naturally: honesty, self-respect, and spiritual authority. Consider everyday examples. An old acquaintance who once treated you casually suddenly struggles to maintain the same dynamic. Their words are shorter, their smile tighter, their eyes avoid yours. A family member, used to pushing boundaries, pauses when you assert your needs calmly. A stranger at work begins sharing personal experiences without prompting. These responses are not random. They are subtle echoes of the truth your presence now conveys. Historically, this is consistent with what spiritual leaders have observed throughout time. Moses' shining face after encountering God caused both awe and unease. Jesus' calm authority and radiant presence drew the faithful and unsettled the self-righteous. In both cases, presence was more than personal magnetism. It was the visible result of inner transformation. The lesson here is profound. You are not responsible for how others react. Their responses are a reflection of their own spiritual alignment, not a judgment of your value. The world will see your growth whether you announce it or not, and reactions will vary depending on what others are ready to receive. This awareness is empowering. It allows you to move through life with both strength and gentleness, understanding that your quiet presence carries authority without aggression and influence without manipulation. The work God has done in your heart is now expressed outwardly, but it is not for performance. It is for alignment, authenticity, and service. Part 4. Transformation in action. How your presence opens doors. As your inner transformation becomes visible outwardly, it begins to influence not only perceptions, but also opportunities. Your presence, shaped by patience, honesty, and spiritual alignment, communicates credibility, trustworthiness, and integrity, qualities that no resume, title, or accolade can fully convey. Imagine walking into a room, not with a sense of urgency or performance, but with quiet confidence. People notice. They instinctively respond to your calm authority. A manager might assign you a responsibility, not because you asked, but because they see integrity in your expression. A colleague may confide in you, not because you pressed them, but because your demeanor signals safety. Even strangers may approach you instinctively, drawn to the clarity and peace reflected in your eyes. This is the practical effect of spiritual work made visible. Your face, posture, and tone act as a living testimony to the work God has done in your heart. Your calmness under pressure, your ability to speak truth without aggression, your capacity for empathy, all of this communicates competence and character far more powerfully than words alone. At the same time, it is important to understand that influence does not equal control. Transformation opens doors, but it does not force others to change. Some people will feel challenged by your presence. That is not a reflection of your success or failure. It is a reflection of the contrast between their current state and the alignment you embody. This awareness allows you to navigate relationships and opportunities with grace. You do not need to push or persuade. Your authenticity invites the right connections naturally. Historically, the lives of spiritual leaders illustrate this principle. Moses, even without speaking, conveyed authority and divine endorsement through his countenance. Jesus' calm and compassionate presence drew followers and challenged the hardened alike. The saints of history often exercised influence through the integrity of their presence rather than the force of their words. Your own life can follow this pattern. Transformation first within, expression second, impact naturally flowing from authenticity. In practice, you may notice small shifts. A conversation that once felt tense now flows easily. People seek your opinion because they trust the judgment reflected in your demeanor. Doors open in ways you did not anticipate. Opportunities arising simply because you embody steadiness and clarity. The key lesson here is subtle but powerful. Your spiritual growth is not only personal, it is relational and practical. Every act of patience, forgiveness, and honesty feeds a presence that others perceive. Every moment you choose alignment over chaos shapes the signals your body sends, making your influence visible in ways both subtle and profound. Part 5. Maintaining balance. How to stay soft while radiating strength. Transformation is powerful, but it comes with a responsibility. The responsibility of balance. When your presence carries authority, clarity, and integrity, it is natural for people to notice. Some will feel comforted, others may feel challenged. The key is to maintain a posture of humility, kindness, and softness, even as your influence grows. Being soft does not mean being weak. Softness is the ability to remain compassionate, patient, and understanding while holding firm in your values and convictions. Strength is the ability to act decisively, to speak truth when necessary, and to set healthy boundaries. The two are not opposites, they are complementary. Spiritual maturity is expressed through this balance. Consider the everyday moments where this balance becomes visible. You choose to respond calmly when someone provokes you. Instead of reacting out of frustration, you assert a boundary with love, refusing to compromise your peace while remaining respectful. You offer guidance without imposing, letting your presence and example inspire rather than coerce. When you walk in this balance, your face, your voice, and your posture communicate it naturally. People sense it instinctively. They notice that you are not easily manipulated, that you do not need to perform, and that your presence is safe and authentic. This quiet authority opens doors, strengthens relationships, and encourages others to grow alongside you. Historically, this is a common thread among spiritual leaders and mentors. Figures like Saint Francis of Assisi, Mother Teresa, or even modern spiritual guides exhibited this soft strength. Their influence was not about dominance or control. but about a quiet, consistent presence that inspired trust, reflection, and growth in others. Their humility magnified their authority, and their gentleness amplified their impact. In practical terms, maintaining balance requires ongoing reflection and self-awareness. Take moments to check in with yourself. Are you acting from fear or from alignment? Are your words and expressions reflecting your inner truth? Are you extending grace without enabling dysfunction? These questions are not meant to burden you, but to guide you in sustaining the transformation that has already begun. Remember, your transformation is a journey, not a destination. Each day offers opportunities to refine your presence, to act with integrity, and to radiate the qualities that God has cultivated in you. The world notices when authenticity and alignment meet. Your face, your gaze, your posture, all carry that message silently yet powerfully. Part 6. Reading the signs. Understanding how your transformation influences the world. As your inner transformation becomes increasingly visible, the world begins to respond in subtle, often surprising ways. You may notice people reacting differently to you without understanding why. These reactions are not random. They are reflections of the truth your presence now communicates. Some people are drawn toward you. They feel safe to speak honestly, to share thoughts and emotions they would normally conceal. Their trust is earned not by words, but by the authenticity radiating from your gaze, your posture, and the calm assurance in your voice. These are the people who recognize alignment, integrity, and inner peace. They are seeking truth, and they sense it in you. Others may hesitate, avoid your gaze, or respond with discomfort. This is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. Rather, it is a mirror for them, a reflection of the clarity, honesty, and strength they have not yet embraced. Their unease is temporary, and it is not your responsibility to change it. Your role is to maintain your alignment, to remain gentle yet firm, and to allow your presence to quietly communicate the truth you embody. Pay attention to small signals. A colleague suddenly respects your boundaries without argument. A friend pauses before speaking, sensing your honesty. A stranger shares personal struggles because your presence communicates safety. These subtle interactions reveal the practical influence of your transformation. They are evidence that the work God has done inside you is now affecting the world around you. Historically, the lives of spiritual leaders provide countless examples of this principle. Moses' radiant face conveyed authority and divine encounter without a single word. Jesus' presence drew followers and challenged the self-righteous. Saints and mystics throughout history influenced others through the quiet power of authenticity and spiritual alignment. Understanding these signs helps you navigate relationships and opportunities with clarity. You learn to discern where your influence is welcomed, where your presence is needed, and where your growth may inspire reflection without conflict. This awareness allows you to act with wisdom, humility, and discernment. Ultimately, the reactions of others are a confirmation, not of your ego, but of the alignment you have cultivated. Your journey is about more than being noticed. It is about being faithfully transformed and letting that transformation quietly shape the lives of those around you. In the final section, we will reflect on the full meaning of this transformation, drawing together the lessons from each stage of your journey. We will explore how to embrace your growth, continue walking in alignment, and allow your life to be a living testimony to the quiet power of authentic spiritual development. Conclusion: embracing your transformation and walking in alignment. Now, dear friend, take a moment to reflect on the journey we have explored together. From the hidden moments of your inner work to the subtle changes that began to appear in your posture, voice, and expression, to the way others now respond to your presence. This transformation is both profound and deeply personal. Your face, your gaze, your very presence has become a reflection of the work God has been doing inside you. It is a visible testimony of patience, forgiveness, integrity, and alignment. It communicates truth, safety, and authenticity in ways words cannot fully capture. People notice it, sometimes without knowing why. And your life quietly opens doors and opportunities that your resume, your accomplishments, or your words alone never could. Yet the most important lesson is this: your transformation is not for performance. It is not about impressing others, winning approval, or commanding attention. It is about being faithfully aligned with the truth of who you are in God. It is about choosing peace over chaos, honesty over pretense, and gentleness over aggression. When you walk in this balance, your influence becomes natural, your authority is quiet, and your presence carries a profound weight that touches lives without effort. Some people will be drawn to you, feeling safe and inspired in your presence. Others may hesitate, avoiding your gaze or struggling to interact with you. This is not a reflection of your worth, but of the contrast between your alignment and where they are on their own journey. Recognize it, but do not be swayed by it. Continue to walk softly, yet strongly, firmly rooted in truth and compassion. As you move forward, remember this: your life, your presence, and even the subtle expressions on your face are instruments of influence. They speak of a journey of transformation that is ongoing, invisible yet undeniable. They invite others into authenticity, gently challenge falsehoods, and reflect the unseen work God has done in you. Embrace this journey. Recognize the quiet power of your presence. Walk in alignment, maintain your balance, and allow the world to witness the evidence of your inner work. And when someone freezes for a moment when they look at you, do not worry. It is not intimidation, it is recognition. Your face, your gaze, and your presence are simply telling the truth of a life faithfully transformed. This is your calling, your testimony, and your invitation to live authentically, to shine gently, and to allow the quiet authority of your transformation to touch the lives of those around you. And remember, this is just the beginning. Continue walking, continue growing, and let your life reflect the depth of what God has done in secret, now visible for all the world to see.